The views and opinions expressed on Unlock Your Wealth Radio are those of the host, guests, and callers only, and are not necessarily the views of Unlock Your Wealth Radio, Heather Wagenhals, or Success Publishing International.
More willpower than a barefoot woman at a shoe sale. Able to stretch a single paycheck for an entire month. Makes money concepts easier than third grade math. Introducing your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals.
Work all day, stress all night. Take your mind off your money and focus on your life. Money don't matter or the stuff it bought. It's the way you think, not what you've got, yeah.
Unlock Your Wealth Radio starts now. Get your money mind right.
Get your money mind right here with us. Yes, it is a tag team, a duo.
Yeah, you and me, baby.
A super duo. I am she, your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals, and I am flanked by the maestro of Moolah, Michael Terry.
Hey, folks.
And today we have a spectacular show for you through our Women's Empowerment season. I am so excited to be bringing all of these incredible women to you so you can feel super empowered. I have some great statistics, too, to share with you about women. And, you know, when we talk about equal rights, I had a really great conversation today, by the way, with the Way of the Renaissance Man and ETF investing author Jim Woods, and we were talking about this. Okay. We were having a conversation about preferential rights. He says that the current movement isn't really looking for equality. They're actually looking for preferential treatment. And that's the problem with the demands that they're making, because equal pay doesn't seem to be enough. So that's a really curious thing. But, you know, we're winning educationally. I think I may have mentioned this before when we were doing our 30 days of personal finance success on our Instagram lives. And we talked about where women are. And on every level, from associate's degree through PhDs, women are graduating almost 2 times or more than their male counterparts.
Wow.
So I don't know why we're not talking more about this, but that's why that we're doing this Women's Empowerment season, because you have all the resources you already need to be uber successful. They may not be arranged in a way that's benefiting you right now, and that's what all of these guests this season are here to help with. We're going to bring back the Invest Diva herself, Kiana Danial, today. We are also going to have a great moolah word of the day. We're going to make a decision. And what's our key?
No seasonal exceptions.
Yes, to get our Unlock Your Wealth Live Keys to Riches broadcast every Monday live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Unlock Your Wealth Radio. Tune in and be a part of the show. We would love to have you. You can beam in and ask questions. I'd love to be able to talk to you face to face. So our moolah word is resolution. So it's kind of like a decision, sort of.
Yeah.
But in this case, it is an official document representing an action on the part of the board of directors of a corporation, more generally an expression of the intent to do something. After a decision is made, that it is kind of proclaimed, that sort of thing. So what you're really doing is you're just announcing sort of a decision that you make. So like a change, you know. So it makes me think of Atlas Shrugged when the board of directors made a decision to close the John Galt line, and so they made a resolution. They wanted Dagny to kill the John Galt line. Anyway, so that is a resolution. It could be a corporate resolution. It could be a private resolution. It can be a government resolution. Resolutions are all over the place. So let's talk and bring on our guest today, because I'm excited to reprise this interview of my discussion with Kiana Danial. She is an award-winning, internationally recognized personal investing and wealth management expert. She is highly sought after as a speaker, an author, and an executive coach who delivers inspirational workshops to seminars in corporations, in universities, and entrepreneurial groups. She's also a financial advisor. She's CEO at Invest Diva, and she is an adjunct professor of finance. So let's listen in on my conversation with Kiana Danial. Welcome to the show, Kiana.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited. You're the first diva we've had on the show.
I'm so excited to be there.
And, and I can't think of anything better than a diva and money. And you're the Invest Diva. How did you get to become the Invest Diva?
Invest Diva. Well, okay, to be honest with you, we were thinking of calling it Investment Princess. But then we thought, you know what? A princess wouldn't go out and make money herself. You're a diva. You go out and you work it.
Yeah, you get it done. Princesses have people.
Make money on the side.
Yeah, you're minions. When you're a princess, you have minions, and they do your bidding. So, so that's awesome. So, how did you get interested? Let's talk. Let's say what is Forex, because I've been telling everybody, no, it's not a French word, but it is an F word. What is Forex?
It is an F word. Let me explain that you are not doing anything for your ex. It has nothing to do with your ex. Forex is a...
Because he got all my money already once. I don't want that to happen again.
No. Forex is a combination of two terms, foreign and the term exchange, which is actually the currency market. You know how you go to a foreign country, you go to Europe, you go to Japan, you go to Canada. Well, nowadays, a lot of people just use their credit cards. They don't actually pay attention to the currency exchange rate. They don't have to go most of the time to a currency exchange counter. But it is happening, and it is happening in a very large scale. And this currency exchange, the fluctuations can actually make you money or make you lose money whenever you go to a foreign country. So online Forex trading is basically taking advantage of the currency exchange market, which is, by the way, the largest market in the world. It is
really
50 times larger than any stock exchange, including New York Stock Exchange.
Wow, I didn't know that. But I do know that there's a difference, because I like when I go to Hong Kong, because I give them one of my dollars and they give me about 7 or 8 of theirs. And I don't like going to London because I have to give them 2 of my dollars and they give me 1 back.
Yeah, so I mean, you would love going to Japan because you will give them $100 and you get $10,000. If you give them, you can really easily become a millionaire in Japan.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in the airport. I'm a trillionaire because I have some Zimbabwe dollars. But I don't like to flex my wealth to everybody, but I am a trillionaire. Sort
Yeah,
of.
but the thing is, you shouldn't get excited because that $10,000 in Japan can't even get you to your hotel room from the airport. So,
Ow, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, like my $1 trillion in Zimbabwe dollars. Like, I still need $3 to go to Starbucks to get a cup of coffee. I can't even buy a cup of coffee with that. Goodness gracious. Okay, well, so how did you get attracted to Forex? Because it's mysterious. It's foreign, especially us here in America. We think, wow, foreign and scary. And, we only ever hear about offshore banks with drug dealers and things like that. And because for some reason, and I don't know if you know what this is, but for some reason, Americans never see fit to travel the world, but everybody always has to come here. And so I think that probably adds to that mystery because we never leave, so we don't know what it's like.
Absolutely. Oh, my God. You're speaking my language. You're actually, speaking from the bottom of my heart. That is the reason why people in America are not familiar with Forex, while everybody else around the world are already trading Forex. In Asia, in Europe, everybody know about it because people are more international outside of the U.S. And how I got into it is because I was outside of the U.S. I was studying in a university in Japan, Tokyo. And, my major was completely different. I was actually studying engineering, and I wanted to make some extra money on the side. And I was aware of the exchange rates between Japan and the U.S. dollar, and it was around 2008, and the financial crisis happened, and I noticed that the dollar value was going down, and I was thinking, oh, my God, I have all this yen. I was accumulating a lot of yen, in Japan, and it was like, okay, if I want to exchange it back to dollar, maybe I should do it now because the dollar value is going down. And I was wondering, how can I do it to make the maximum profit? It's going down so rapidly. I don't know when is the bottom line, when is the best time to sell it. And I was talking about it out of nowhere to my Japanese mom, who was like my Japanese host family's wife. And she told me, yeah, there is a way that you can do it systematically online, and you can actually add on to your investments by adding the leverage to it, which means you can put in, for example, $100, but you can actually margin it up to $10,000 and make a lot of money out of it. And she taught me all about it, and I started making money. Mm-hmm.
A woman taught you about this. This is what's so fascinating to me, because I remember I was a stockbroker, but I was just, I was a desk jockey, I mean, I just sat there on the phones all day and dialed for dollars, and I sold whatever I was told to sell, So although I was inspired to become a stockbroker because Gordon Gekko said greed is good, and I grew up poor, I said, I'm going to the markets. I find it fascinating because it's such a male-dominated industry that, your host mother in a foreign country is just having this random conversation with you about how to stop the loss or stop the bleeding on your currency. I mean, this is just, I'm amazed by this. How did she get into it? What was she doing?
Well, she's not the only person. In Japan, women are huge on Forex trading. They are called Mrs. Watanabes. A lot of Japanese women, after they get married, they become housewives. And they traditionally are in charge of their household finances. And they trade so much that sometimes they are at the force behind the yen's movements because they're trading it so much.
Wow.
And yes. And that is how I got into it. And I actually found it very normal over there. Like, okay, women trade. And I came to the U.S. and I started working at the largest Forex broker in the U.S. And there I noticed that that 98% of traders in the U.S. are men. Well, the ones who know about Forex. Not many people know about Forex here. The ones who know are only men. And I was pitching it to my company. I was like, why don't you target women? And they're like, women are not interested. Like, American women. I'm like, isn't this America, the land of freedom, women's rights? Like, how is it that women are not in this market? And that is how I actually started doing some research and studies. And I found out that, in fact, women are much, much better investors and traders than men for various reasons. And these are studies done by Stanford University. They, on average, make 1.4% more on their investment portfolios than men because they are more risk-averse, because they are more patient, because they trade to invest rather than trading to win. So this was so fascinating for me, and that is how I got into this. Like, okay, I have to get this out. I have to get this women in America into this market because it's such a waste. And it's so much fun, and you become more international. You have to know about current events because, let's face it, like, just being in America is not going to get us anywhere.
Well, I know. I mean,
the economy is going, and the beauty of Forex is that you can make money either way, whether the dollar is going down or going up. You can still make money based on your positioning in the market.
Yeah, I'm so fascinated by this, especially all the due diligence you've done behind it.
You are listening to Kiana Danial on Unlock Your Wealth Radio. This segment is sponsored in part by KeepMyID.org, the only service that actually prevents identity theft. All others are just monitoring services. Put your credit on lockdown for Unlock Your Wealth Radio listeners by visiting our website at unlockyourwealthradio.com/keepmyid and click on the link to start protecting your financial future right now.
And this is almost like kind of amazing, our conversation about how women dominate the market in Japan in Forex trading. I'm just kind of blown away by that. So how do you make money on the different prices? So like we were talking before, my US dollar is worth anywhere between $7 or $8 in Hong Kong. And it's only worth 50 cents when I go to England, and different places have all different kind of value. So how is the money made when you invest in foreign exchange currencies?
So it is basically very similar to stock market, to any other investing system, investing market. You basically buy low and sell high. And the difference is that when you're trading stocks, you're buying a stock low at a lower price. You give dollars to buy that share, and then you wait for it to go high, and you sell it, and you get your money back. When trading currencies, you are buying your currency, for example, the US dollar, versus another form of money, another currency, for example, the euro, for example, the Canadian dollar. So when the value of the dollar comparing to the value of the Canadian dollar is down, you buy it, you wait for it to go up, then you sell it, and you make money, and vice versa. That is the beauty of it. When the value is up, you sell it. You can go short or long whenever you want.
Okay.
And when it goes down, you buy it versus the other currency. But the reason why you still make money is because now you have Canadian dollars for a higher value.
Okay. All right. So now you mentioned before about reading and learning about current events. How do those play into the market fluctuations? What makes a currency go up or down?
Well, I like to call it the Forex puppet master, which is all the current events around the globe. So, for example, again, I'm going to bring back the stock market example. When you want to buy a stock, you go ahead and you study the company's information, the current events of that company, how they're doing, what is the CEO talking about, how are the employees, are they making money, are they not? So for a currency, first of all, it's much better and easier because there are only 7 major currencies that you have to follow as opposed to thousands of stocks. And these 7 major currencies, which include the US dollar, Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, euro, Swiss franc, British pound, and Japanese yen, you have to follow, you are basically betting on the country's economy.
Okay.
So when a country's economic chief person is speaking, when the Japanese prime minister is talking, that makes the market, the Japanese yen, move. When the American Fed leader is talking, she makes the dollar go up and down. For example, there are different variations. It's economic. It's, for example, when the country goes to war, that makes the value of that currency go down. When the country's unemployment rate goes higher, that makes the currency's value go down. So these are the current events that affect the currency's value that we go very deeply into in my book, and in our education course. And also there are other methods of analysis, which is, again, very similar to stock market, which is called technical analysis, which basically you base your analysis on how the fluctuations were happening before. And because history repeats itself, you will make a conclusion that, okay, so after this happens, usually the dollar goes down. So now this pattern is happening again. So I'm thinking the dollar is still going to go down. And we explain these very, very deeply and very easily in our education course.
Now, in addition to your education course, you're also an author. And so tell me how divas make money after dark.
Yes, so we call this it's funny that you mention it. So we basically teach beginners how to make extra income after dark, how to make money like a Japanese woman. What makes that? What comes to your mind when I say that?
Oh, well, the Arizona version of that is a woman that walks the Van Buren Street here, but I'm thinking geisha, right?
No, not exactly.
No? Wrong direction?
Nope.
Okay. Pull my mind out of the gutter.
I don't know where your brain's at. I mean, I'm sorry.
Come on now. You're leading me down the path. You wanted me to go there. So,
Yeah,
so you're talking like, like, for example, your Japanese house mother, your host mother. So that's when she sits down, like after she gets the family fed and everybody put to bed? Okay.
Yes, because with stock market, the stock market stops at 4 o'clock in every country. But the currency market, because it's international, it's 24/7. You can trade when you have a sleepless night. You can trade when you're pumping milk for your baby. You can trade when people are at Thanksgiving dinner and you don't want to talk to your family, and you can just sit down and trade. Maybe not that day because the dollar is not moving that much. But,
well, I didn't realize it was all day, all night.
It is all day, all night, except for the weekend. And it actually, in the U.S., it starts at Sunday night because that is the open market of the Asian session, It starts in Asia because, the day starts on Earth in Asia.
Yeah.
So it is a 24/5 market.
Okay. So, so has the Forex market ever experienced issues like, program trading making the market crash, or because it's based in so many different countries on so many different things, would you say there's more stability in the market itself? I mean, not in the individual countries, but
the market itself is the deepest and most liquid market in the world. So the market doesn't crash. What does make Forex a little bit unfamiliar and a little bit maybe, let's say, risky, that could be the brokers who are offering it. If you don't do your due diligence before you choose a broker, some brokers are scammy. So we actually, again, go very deeply about educating you how to choose a broker because it is very important who you trade with. Are they trying to scam you? Are they trying to get your money? Are they trying to go against your trades? And another issue with Forex for people who don't know, are not educated in it, and think that it's just a get-rich-quick quest, is the leverage. Leverage is a lot higher in Forex as opposed to stock market, and that adds to your profit, obviously, if you're winning. But if you lose, you are going to have a greater loss. So you really need to be educated before you get into the Forex market trading.
Now, before the break, you mentioned that women are better investors, and one of the reasons is because they're risk averse. And you talked about investing versus men winning. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes. So women, basically, psychologically, women want to protect their offspring. And men, psychologically, are challengers. They always want to, they pursue, they want to prove that they're the king and they're the winners. And that is how they do business, and that is how they trade. And in Forex especially, if you do that, and if you get too excited about your wins and think, okay, I am winning, and usually actually most of your losses in men's mind comes right after a lot of wins, because they think that they are always right and they want to continue winning, and they don't stop and think like a woman would. A woman would probably say, okay, I made this money, I'm going to invest it wisely, I'm not going to, get too excited about it. I don't want to prove anybody that I'm the best. And also women are more teachable. With a man, they usually, I don't want to be, I'm not a sexist or anything like that. These are actually studies that are going on.
Right.
Yes.
I find that too in so many things, I'll get, men that come to our workshops and they'll be like, yeah, I already know. And then by the end of the day, they're like, oh, wow, I really did learn something. And they're like, maybe I'm not as confident about my money management skills as I thought I was. I think
men are getting more into education now. I'm not sure if you were aware of it, but there were some actually trading companies who were trying to teach their male employees how to trade like a woman, and they were actually giving them feminine hormones.
Oh.
So that they calm them down. The estrogen is is not.
Gosh. Wouldn't a Quaalude work better? Calm down. Have a lude. You'll be fine. Oh my gosh, that's craziness. Have some estrogen, man. Get over yourself. It's not about winning. It's about how you play the game. Yeah, what about man boobs? Did any of them get man boobs? Did they lose all of the profit that they took because they had to go get like a reduction because they got man boobs? I'm going in a different direction. I know, it's just in the gutter today.
I don't know where your mind is at.
It's in the gutter today. I'm going to blame it on this brain training program I'm doing. After I do it, I just think about Ricky Martin all day. So, well, this is just fascinating and stuff, and I've heard that in so many other genres that this women are better students, and because they're more patient maybe, and they're more detail oriented.
Oh my God, you mentioned it. Patience is the most profitable virtue in the Forex market.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I almost forgot. Exactly.
Yeah, I think about what happened, on my show in 2003, I had someone call in and ask about, when I thought the real estate bubble was going to pop. And I said, that's not what you have to watch for. You need to watch for the mortgage bubble. It's going to be more massive and more devastating than anybody can think of. And everybody just kind of shoved me off and didn't listen to me. The few people I was working with, the few real estate professionals I was working with, and the clients that we were doing portfolio management with, the ones that listened all became multimillionaires. And it was amazing how accurate I was able to predict that. And
wow.
And it was because of human behavior. I mean, it's statistical rate of default is there for a reason. So I knew that what was going on wasn't sustainable. And those that listened made money. And those that didn't listen and then got caught up in the hysteria and panicked and sold, lost.
That's a great example.
And where's the market today? If they would have just had patience, and all they were worried about was stopping the bleeding. And if they wouldn't have sold, they wouldn't have lost because people don't understand that. Until you sell something, you don't really lose. It's just, a number on a piece of paper.
Right.
Or a computer screen. So I'm glad you said that about patience. So tell me quickly, because I know that we're drawing to the end of our interview, what your program is. Is it an online program? Is it a workshop? What do we do if we want to learn from the Invest Diva on Forex?
So my online program is based on my book, which is Invest Diva's Guide to Making Money in Forex, which was published by McGraw-Hill. And it is an online video education platform, and it is quoted to be the most easy to understand and entertaining and funny education course available out there for trading. And it is available on investdiva.com/learn to earn. And actually, I do have a promotion code for your listeners, 25% off at this time.
Yay! That's awesome. So we can learn for less and then take that 25% savings, and then we can get into Forex.
Exactly. Yeah, but after you have obviously practiced, I never advise anybody to jump into this before they're 100% mastering, because you know that you can trade with fake money before, and I really advise that to my students.
Oh, yeah. I love paper trading.
Definitely. You need to do that. So the education course itself is very reasonable compared to the other education courses out there, and it is not boring. I'm assuring you of that.
Yeah. Well, just them listening to you is not boring. So
it is presented by me. So the videos are all presented by me, and we're dancing and we're making Forex really fun and understanding to people with absolutely no financial education background.
Thank you so much for being a part of today's show. And for those of you who want more of Kiana Danial, all you have to do, never fear, unlockyourwealthradio.com is here, where you can visit her show page, get all the links to her classes, her books, and so much more. For the maestro of moolah, Michael Terry, I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now go out and unlock your wealth today.
UnlockYourWealthRadio.com is produced by Heather Wagenhals and the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation. UnlockYourWealthRadio.com and its affiliates are copyrighted 2018 with all rights reserved. For more information on the Keys to Riches Financial Wellness series, please visit our website at www.unlockyourwealth.com.